G'day folks. Well, for tonight's little equipment autopsy we're going to look at this Samsung Multifunction Copier printer. It's a model SCX-5312F. It does pretty much everything. It's got a built-in fax machine, copy, print server through USB, and your normal LPT, your old-fashioned one. No network print server though, so it's not the most practical for me anyway, even if I did fix it. But it's got a horribly broken gear in there. There's a tooth missing off it. Yeah, I'll demonstrate the sound that it makes. We'll do one copy anyway. It does run a laser. It's not a LED printer, and you should be able to see the laser when I direct the camera down there, because it's tricked to run open at the moment. One copy. You can see the red. Yeah. Fuser did not receive the paper, so it's jammed. Oops. Try and remove you. That's how that fell down there. Now it looks like there's a proper printed image on there, but the interesting thing is, and if you've worked on copiers you know exactly what it is, that's not actually permanent on the paper yet, because that has to be melted on by the heated rollers in there, which says 180 degrees Celsius warning, very hot. Yeah, toner's a mixture of pigment, wax, bit of plastic powder, similar sorts of stuff. There's a variety of different toner formulations over the years, and in this case it's just carbon black. So you can hear the clicking sound though. It's that snapping sound that's the problem. I'll just restart it. Yeah, that's the details on it. You can hear it. I'm trying not to expose myself to that red area, because that is laser radiation. Not very high level, but it's laser. Funny thing is, it does work. Print-wise, it works. The copies come out fine. I was running it last night, and it just came out just fine. But I don't know what's jammed in there. Whatever's jammed or broken is just jumping a tooth. Either way, this machine's done a lot of copies, and it doesn't work 100% anyway. So we're going to take it apart. I've already got a big network-based printer copier, which does full colour prints anyway. So I really don't need this. Yeah, what more can I say? It's got the automatic document feeder on it too. These ones are really simple compared with the old-fashioned full belt-driven ones, or the belt-type ones. These ones here just spit the document out through here over this glass. Of course, the scanner comes back to this position for auto-document feeding, so the scanner head remains stationary and the document just passes over there and goes back up through here and just gets picked up by rollers and spat out on the return tray. So all it's doing is just a loop like that. And yeah, the old-fashioned ones used to take it all the way around and then spit it back out through the top on the return, which I could demonstrate on another copier that I have inside eventually. But yeah, I think we'll start by taking the document feeder apart and work down. Just take all the covers off it, unplug it first obviously. I've already got the back off it, but just something in that gearbox that's clattering and carrying on. It's probably a really simple fix, but I don't know, like I said, this thing's low on toner and it's a high mile machine. The drum doesn't have much life left in it either. So there we go, let's start it. Okay, let's see what this does. It probably won't like me because the whole mechanism's just floating around. It's trying to feed it. Miss feed. The scanner light is bright. They are very nice little CFLs. You over there. I know it's supposed to go the other way up, but I don't think it's going to matter in this case. Paper jam. No, now it's gone for normal scan. Oops. Oops, stuck halfway through the fuser. Damn it. Oh, I tried. Wow, that really bailed up in there. I think because it was so heavily loaded with toner, it stuck to one of the rollers and just tried to come back around. There's more broken plastic bits like the ones that fell out a while ago. Oh, they're tabs off these things. Oh, there. Half of them are gone. That doesn't help. Yeah, it stuck itself together. Well, that's a fusing unit. Pretty straightforward. Well, I'm never going to get around to stripping this thing down. It's too much fun to play with them first. It's a shame because I don't think I'm going to get anything good out of it. The whole thing's just plastic crap. Even the guide rod's just sitting in plastic. I don't know why it does that. It's almost like it's zeroing itself. Nope, done it again. It's because those little fingers keep breaking off up there. That's why it keeps jamming. There's supposed to be little fingers along there to direct the paper, but it must be hitting the square edge and just going crunch. That's half the problem, that top strip's falling to bits. That's a guide, that's a deflector. Oh well. Definitely time to pull it to bits now. It won't print at all. I finally broke it. Oh, that's kind of neat. That's the stepping motor drive and everything for the auto document feeder. It's funny they use a VGA plug to connect it to the back of the machine, or D-sub plug. Yeah, that's the stepping motor driver. Probably wouldn't be too hard to operate it either. It's got a couple little optical sensor chips and a cable going into it. No, I'll put that aside. I use dismantling too much of it or I'll end up losing bits. So, into the rest of it I suppose. It's all plastic, it's all tied together with its own componentry, its own housings and things, so yeah, pick a point and start dismantling it. I took these screws out and I can't get that top cover off the power supply because it's all keyed into the bottom paper cabinet. And the rest of it's all plastic. That's the print server. Well, not print server, it doesn't even have Ethernet on it. Okay, I've got the internal units out. Well, toner and drum unit. They're pretty straightforward. The drum does all the transfer, the laser creates a negative static image on the drum itself, and well, sorry, it'd be a positive image, and toner only sticks to the electrostatically charged portion of the drum, and once it's charged it gets transferred to the paper using a transfer charge, and then on up into the fuser. Photocopiers or digital copiers both operate on the same basic principle, except one uses a laser only has to scan once and then print many times from an electronic print processor. Analog ones have to reflect the image through optics and mirrors and things down to the drum to wipe out the electrostatic charge using light. As being exposed to light now, this drum will not accept a static charge, but in the dark you can charge it, and then you can use a projected beam of light in the shape of your background of your image to wipe all that out. So it's pretty cool stuff. And the rest of that's just toning unit. I'm not going to open that up because it's going to make a horrible mess. It's almost empty. Might open that up later. Okay, so the scanner's loose. It's easy enough to work from the underside. You've obviously got to take the bottom panel off. You can see standoffs and things in the corners there. Likewise, I've got the print server and digital control board open. Why should I keep calling it print server? It doesn't even have that option. Normally it would in some models. What is there? There's things that look like RAM chips, the main processor, connexant chip, so that's probably part of your modem. It's got a fax modem in it. Screwed to the board. 2 batteries. There's another button cell down there. An AMD microchip of some description. Oops, there goes the screwdriver. I do need better camera mounts and things, but it's a bit hard to show things on an angle all the time when you've got it just fixed to a tripod. There we go. Another big processor. ARM, Samsung. S3C46C0X01. Okay. There's a slightly better look at the board. Even then, getting the lighting right is pretty tricky. Yeah, those look like memory chips or something. It's hard to tell. Over here's where the stepping motors plug in. So those look like drive chips, or maybe that one up there. Yeah. If I knew what each chip type was and could be bothered looking them all up on the web, I'd probably be able to tell you, but overall, no. That's just a basic interface with phone line. It's got noise filters and surge suppressor, MOVs, all that sort of good stuff. Okay, well, the scanner's off and the panel's off. Not much to it. It's a single layer board, and that's the only data connection going to it, so whatever communication protocol it runs, it's pretty good. Most old copier panels have like 50 or 60 different wires. It's like a proper ribbon cable going to them. But this is all done by 2, 4, 5 wires. One will be ground, the other 4 will be communication signals in God knows what. Some kind of serial or binary language. Assuming computers and things still use binary. Well, of course they would. Everything would be still made up of binary code. It's just the way you do it. I don't know. I'm a mixture of old and new with computers, so it gets confusing after a while. Anyway, I'll pull this panel apart and hopefully there'll be buttons everywhere, which I know there will be because it's a rubber membrane with loose plastic buttons. And there's the date. Pretty old. It's had a hard life, so we'll put it out of its misery. And there you go, just like that. Don't worry, part 2 will be just a tripod shot of me undoing a lot of screws, because there isn't an awful lot between this and the final part where we look at some of the closer components. It's just going to be lots of unscrewing stuff. There's some rubber membrane pads, sort of like your TV remotes. And there's a little contact. It's all millivolt control stuff. And if they do wear out eventually, you can get repair kits to redo those carbon traces, but it's fairly expensive stuff actually. You can do it for TV remotes and things like that. We always had the infrared test card. Looks like a credit card with a light red spot on it to test the remotes, and then you'd if there was a bad button or something, you'd open it up and repair these little pads. And the traces on the board weren't usually too bad because they were copper or gold plated, but these pads would wear off, so you redo it with this little tube or syringe of goo and let it go off. back in the days when you used to fix things like that. Nice little dot matrix 2-line or 2-row LCD. Sort of thing you get in JCar for like $5 now. They're dirt cheap. 5.1 volts. There's a part number on there too. Be a Samsung part number. You can even see it. I can't really see it on the display of the camera, so you probably can't either. There's various red surface mount LEDs and a small processor chip. There's that output connector that goes through there, back into here. It might be part of your output processing there, communications. Interesting stuff. Oh, they're all tied together. See, that's intelligence in manufacturing. They're not millions of loose buttons like some are. Some of the old panels I used to pull apart, there'd just be a million buttons everywhere. It's a start button. Anyway, we'll call this part 1, call it a night, or maybe not, nah, still early, let's take some more screws out, but you can see that in part 2. Thanks for watching, folks.